Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Today will be the 1cc for Espgaluda. And I'll just start playing the video and then we'll talk alongside. Because this game is kind of different from the previous ones in a sense. So after getting the 1cc in Diojo, I thought, man, I kinda want a break, I kinda want an easier game to, decompress, see if I improve. No, everything like that. Let me just bring the volume down just a tad. Yeah, this is good. So yeah, so I was looking around to which game should I select, and I'm not commenting too much because as you'll see, and I'll explain this later, but really, the game is really just the final two stages, so we're basically just watching along there. So I was checking. At first, I played some of the old games I had 1cc's at Batsugan. Once you see first try, I died only once. So like, wow, I really improved, man. And then on Dodonpachi, I tried some funny stuff, and unfortunately didn't get the 1cc. But I did get the sixth stage using only 2 bombs, so that was like really, really nice. Dodging is much, much better. Well, that said, then I read a bunch about recommendations, and everybody says that Espgaluda was our first clear. It's like a really easy game, really inviting for new players. And indeed, it is. And I'll do a scoring trick right now. Basically, you just use Kakusei mode over there. You wait for the screen to fill with bullets, and then you kill the guys and you rack up a good amount of points. Unlike the other two, Dodonpachi and Diojo, where I had to specifically learn and grind stage 1 chaining, a little bit of stage 2 chaining to get points to ensure that I got the second extend. In this game, really, I'm playing on player 2 here, so there's a trick on the third stage boss, which I will highlight when it comes up. But basically, if you know how to do that and then use Kakusei in like a couple mid bosses, then you're pretty much guaranteed to get the 14 million extend. So that was nice. And here I am doing the Kakusei over mode. Just bring it up to level 4 so I can grab more gems, at least until I die. So it's like very easy to get this set up in the first boss and whatnot. But yeah, so Espgaluda took me, I would say, I'd say 3 days to save states, learn the routes, and everything. Once again, Pun coming to the rescue there. Great video with explaining each stage and the scoring tricks and how you route everything. And the thing is that you can pretty much freestyle the first 2.5 stages of the game. Like stage 1, stage 2, and the first half of stage 3. It's kind of whatever, like the bullet density, as you can see here, is like extremely low compared to Diojo, of course. So if you came from a comparatively harder game like that one, then this is just pretty much, going through the motions. And this, ironically, made the game a bit boring for me. Not because it isn't a good game, because it is a good game, and the songs, especially, I love the music in this game. We're gonna do another scoring trick here, so after those 3 guys, you just wait. There are a bunch of tanks, just wait for them to shoot, and then this final tank here, and then you rack up a good amount of points there once again. The thing is that once you get accustomed to the higher bullet density of Diojo or the later stages of Dodonpachi, this game really just picks up at that level on stage 5. Pretty much stage 5. Stage 4 has some moments, but overall just stage 5 has that kind of challenge. And so what it became for me is that I started the run, and then I was pretty much guaranteed to reach like stage 4 at least was a given. And then sometimes I'd make a mistake. Sometimes I make a mistake on like stage 2 or stage 3, just not paying attention to get killed, and then you have to reset. And that was a bit frustrating, if I'm honest, because it became a bit of a reset city for me, where I had, had practiced the harder parts of the game. I started practicing by the final boss, which everybody says is the hardest part of the game, and indeed, the final boss is really hard. So I started with that, And once I had the final boss down pat, not with like no miss, no bomb, but generally, you know, using a decent amount of resources and really practicing the final pattern where you can't bomb or kakusei. That one I practiced a lot. But once that was done, then it was pretty much okay. I just have to make the run happen. And that became a bit frustrating because it's like, well, I get up to stage 3 and then I make a mistake. And then I don't reset, but then that life, or those resources actually, they become necessary later on. And then I get a better run, and then I make a mistake on stage 4, or I get up all the way to stage 5, and then I, you know, fumble Cesare or some such, and then I have to do the stage 1 and stage 3 again. But, you know, it became pretty clear to me that it was just a matter of, you know, insisting and trying again and again and again. And eventually, the run would come true. And now we're at the stage 2 boss there. This is the one pattern I kind of like Kakusei for, because it can become really fast, side to side. Now this part here, just like stream left for 4 rings, then you dodge in the middle there, and then do the same for the other side. And then finally, ideally you got a bunch of gems here, because you can rack up some good points with those guys there, with Kakusei mode. And yeah, that's basically it. So, I don't know. I guess if I had started with Espgaluda, I would have had way more fun. I guess that is my conclusion here. So, you know, at least it was just nice to decompress, I suppose. So I'm already thinking about the next game, which we'll talk about after this is concluded, but not sure. I wanna graduate eventually to Ketsui, but it's gonna be a while still, I think. We're starting out stage 3 here. Stage 3 is where the game like actually starts. Not this first half, though, to be honest. Like there's these train cars here, and you can kakusei to grab a couple points. This part in particular here can get pretty filled with bullets, so slash kakusei over there. But now we don't want to kakusei anymore, because I want all the gems I can get for the mid boss, which there's a very nice scoring trick if you're playing on player 2, which I am here. And I guess with the PlayStation 2 ports, it doesn't matter if you're on player 1 or player 2, but in the arcade version, which is this one, you want to be on player 2. So this 4th section of train cars here, there is that car that sometimes throws like those spread pattern bullets. Can be harder to dodge, so I like using kakusei there for safety. Now here's coming up the mid boss, so we're gonna stop shooting, and then we just dodge a little bit here. Once he starts the next pattern, immediately kakusei, and then laser, and you rack up a ton of points here. And maybe wondering why I'm using Ageha here instead of Tateha, and if you check Pan's video with the route, he uses Tateha and not Ageha. But I found Tateha to be very slow in terms of movement speed, and the advantage that she has in that the spread shot is much more powerful. As it turns out, this game is not really much about the stages, except for stage 5 maybe. It's really about the bosses. And so I would much rather have a powerful kakusei laser, which Ageha has, than a powerful kakusei shot, which doesn't do much for me in the during the bosses. So I think that the general speed and also the powerful laser are things that really made, you know, Ageha preferable to me compared to Tateha there. Okay, so the second half of the stage has started and now really picks up, so the game starts in earnest here. This section is not too bad. Then there's going to be these Akos from the left, from the right, and then there's this turbine here. You start from either side and then you stream slowly and you kill the turbine. And now coming up, there is a special kind of enemy there that you really want to focus. So I already know where it's coming up. So I kill the enemy, kill the Zakos coming from the right, kakusei, and then kill the second one immediately before it becomes a problem. And this section really, okay, you really have to know your route from here on out, because if you just let these enemies run about and shoot wherever they want, then it can really become a problem and hard to dodge. Whereas beforehand you can like pretty much freestyle everything. You see there's a lot of shots there. Now I wanna conserve gems because the secret extend is coming up, so we need, I mean, not 500 gems, that's kind of a lot, but we need some amount of gems. So I'm gonna use Kakusei to do the cutover and kill that guy. And here it is on that middle part there. If you kill that gem, the middle part of the ship there with Kakusei mode, then you get the extra life. And as you can see, we're up to already like 8 million points. So first extend is with 6 million, I think, and the second one is with 14 million. But if you just do the scoring tricks that I've done so far, it's pretty much like a given that you'll get the extend. This part is really nice to have Ageha as well. Every time that you need to do a fast dodge is really useful to have the fast movement speed of Ageha in these parts. Now I'm going to use, I think, a little bit of Kakusei mode to finish up this part and also rack up a good amount of points there. As you can see, the second part is great for points, so you just want to Kakusei, and there's these little turrets that it shoots out, and you can rack up, like, as you get the multiplier up and up and up, you can grab like a bunch of times 100 multipliers there, as you can see. And now I'm just saving up a little bit of gems so we can do this final part here. And there we go. Now this final pattern here, this got me a lot before I memorized, okay, you have to go all the way bottom left or bottom right, and then you slowly stream. I'm not even looking at my character right now, I'm just, just tapping, and I kind of know the rhythm that it has to be done. You don't want to exhaust the space, so you have to do it like really slowly, and otherwise it's pretty much done. Okay, stage 4 now. All right, sorry about that. My daughter called me. I had to attend to what she wanted. Let's keep going. So let's see, stage 4. Oh yeah, these guys. So these guys come flying from the side and they have these radio shots. And I think you kind of do need to memorize them. I was thinking, do you actually need to memorize everything? You need to know the flow, because I was thinking, well, maybe you don't need to memorize if they just come up and then you Kakusei really fast and you take them out. The thing is that you're going to spend a lot of gems like that, and secondly, they start showing up more and more and faster as the stage comes along, and then it becomes like a huge hassle if you're not ready for it, especially in the second part of the stage. So you kind of need to know the general area where they're gonna show up, and then you're just like gonna pre-laser where they're coming up. This tank can be a bit of a hassle, as you can see there. And there's a guy coming up. You see I'm holding the laser because I know there is one of those guys coming up, so I'm kind of, I know it's incoming, so I'm holding the laser, and then I'm kind of positioned in the middle here. I think there's a fourth one, if I'm not mistaken. No, not quite. It's after. Now the mid boss. The patterns on this mid boss, I think, I never quite got the hang of it. I thought they were really hard, so I just, I accumulate 500 gems and I Kakusei the whole thing. This is one thing that I found that is much easier in this game compared to Dodonpachi or Daiojo. This is like such a mistake. I was trying to do the cutover to just stay in the middle and keep hitting him with the laser, but then I hit one of the bullets with Kakusei on, and then, okay, there's going to be 4 of these guys now. So 1, 2, and then to the left, and then 1 to the right, and then you're done. But yeah, like, I found that you do need some memorization here in this stage, of course. Well, this big red enemy shows up, and then just Kakusei the whole thing, and then you're done. Oh yeah, I remember what I was saying. I found that this game is easier than Dodonpachi or Daiojo because you kind of have Kakusei as a bit of a crutch, I want to say. At least for me it was. It was like when there was a pattern that I really didn't gel with, or I found that it was, unwieldy for me to try and consistently get through it, and I would just, allocate a bunch of gems. Okay, I'm gonna rack up like 500 gems, and then just Kakusei the whole thing and get rid of the problem. And I guess you can do the same in terms of bombs, using bombs in Dodonpachi, but oh my. painfully hurt. This part here, I never quite got the hang of it. I had a strat where I just, kill the tank and then I go streaming right to left or left to right and killing everyone and dodging. Because I didn't want to Kakusei that part. I guess I could, but I wanted the gems for this boss. But now I'm kind of screwed because I started with the default 250 gems. So, what can you do? Another pattern that I just don't want to deal with, so I'm gonna bomb this one and then do a little bit of point blanking, and we just get rid of that. Our next pattern is really fun. You want to do left to right and left to right, alternating laser and shot. There's going to be these little turrets. You see the explosion, you go to the other side. Explosion, other side, explosion, other side. So it's really, really fast and flowy, this part. And then once it becomes like too much, then just I'm gonna Kakusei here a little bit, gain some space, and then remove it. I saw several videos of people just dodging this like it was nothing. I died for these dons like so many times. I really needed to Kakusei that part because I thought they were really fast. And this final part here, kinda dodgeable, but if you have the gems, I would recommend you use the gems. And there we go. In terms of points, you can see like I have 13 million, pretty much almost at 14. I would really rather not have died there, to be honest with you. But at this rate, I'm like, it's just run after run, every time a run got past, like, I want to say stage 3, certainly. Yeah, like if I died on stage 1 or 2, that was another reset. I'm like, what am I doing? Jesus Christ, I forgot that. Oh my god, that was so dumb. Okay, so that is like two big mistakes so far. This is one of those runs that, you certainly, if you play shmups like a lot, there's these runs where you're not quite doing everything according to plan. You take a dumb death or some such, and you're like, you know what, man? Whatever, I'm just gonna play and try to dodge everything and like not worry. And ironically enough, those are the runs that generally like go farther in my experience. Like you kind of remove all the preoccupation in your mind, you just want to, let's do it. Oh, the good part about this is that generally I didn't have, I had only half bomb energy here. And since I died, I have the free energy that I can pick up of there, so I thought, well, I guess I can use a bomb here, right? Because that part is like really hard. If you want to not bomb the whole thing, you kind of have to Kakusei and then kill the turrets and then do a cutover and everything. But yeah, just racking up a couple gems to kill these cannons here. And then if you hold the laser in the middle there, you can kill most of the Zakos and grab a good bunch of gems for this final part. At this point here, I'm kind of thinking, man, this run's not happening. There's no way. Because I have come to this point like 5 lives. I've never come here with 6 lives. I always had some mistake. But I had one mistake getting to Cesare 2 here. But I just fumbled the final boss and then it was over. So I'm like, let's just play it out, let's see what happens. Now this ball here, I don't know what's happening with this ball, because the first time I did this pattern, I thought, man, this is so easy, this is free. Then I did the whole thing and then the loop to the other side, and then I started dying. Without explanation. I never got this again. And so I started allocating a bomb here just so I don't have to deal with this ball. And this final part here, so as long as you have like, I want to say 250 gems, it's pretty decent. You just like do the easy dodges here. It's like no problem. And once she shoots the third line of bullets there, then you just Kakusei, and the 250 are enough for you to get through the phase. So at first what I was doing here was like actually dodging and shooting during the ball phase and then bombing the second part, and I found that it's just much easier to Kakusei the second part and bomb the ball, and then I don't have to deal with anything. Okay, so now it's the doll corridor. This part is kind of chaotic. It's kind of like the Hell Hallway in Dodonpachi Stage 5, but it's better. like Dodonpachi stage 5 is much worse than this. So there's that. These tanks, they have these flowing shots, but they're actually really easy to dodge. I don't know what happens with that. Like they seem harder to dodge than they actually are. But yeah, basically I'm just following Pan's route here through the stage. It's really consistent. You just have to, you know, use some Kakusei for cut over if it gets overwhelming, but otherwise it's not too bad. The first time I did this, I thought, man, this is impossible, but actually not that much. Now I'm gonna stop shooting, I'm gonna let the dolls pile up in the middle, and then we're gonna Kakusei bullet cancel the whole thing, because otherwise it becomes a bit unwieldy. Now I'm thinking about using a bomb here. Generally I found that if you use a bomb here you can like get all the way through without much issue. Yeah. Not necessary now that I think about it, but I made sure to leave the sliver of the bomb meter there just in case we need it. And we have more energy there. So we're good. Final boss. Like 90%, no 90%, that's an exaggeration. Like 50% of the game difficulty is in the final boss for sure. We're gonna start killing one of the wings and then another of the wings. Both of them give you a bullet cancel, then no more wings. We just dodge. This pattern is like surprisingly easy for a final boss. You just go left, right. This one seems harder, but actually you just like do dodge to one side, dodge to the other side. Just make sure you don't get clipped by the middle bullets there. Now the pattern repeats. And there we go. If you do like a 40% bomb for the second phase here, you're pretty much done. So. At this point I'm thinking, you know, maybe I can do this. Because usually I was dying like 2 times in the third phase of the final boss. So, not 2 times, sorry, like 3, 4 times. So it's kind of borderline here. I'd really rather have an extra life, but we'll see. So as long as you stay right below him, this pattern is decently easy. This one with the crossover sometimes gets me, so... Oh my god, got clipped. Yeah, that's terrible. No, I think it's Kikaku that she says. I don't know what she says. This is not too bad. This pattern is like hell. I have no idea how I dodge this. I just Kakusei the whole thing and pray that I have enough gems to survive. Because otherwise, this can get pretty hairy. Let's see. This pattern is like pretty decently dodgeable actually. Not an issue at all. This boss is so strange. Such a dumb mistake. That was very dodgeable. The good part is that I didn't have to deal with the dolls at all, and I racked up a ton of damage dying there. So actually, it wasn't that bad. If you think about it, it's decent. Now I'm Kakuseiing the whole thing because I don't want to get clipped, and now that's like 2 lives. But I have a full bomb meter, so I'm kind of positive here. Really, it comes down to how I'm gonna do the final phase. Let's see. We're just doing some simple dodges and then no dodges. Just 40% bomb the whole thing. There we go. The second pattern that he throws, these balls are like super easy to dodge, so that's a nice. This pattern is super hard, man. I have no idea how he dodges this actually. I'm gonna Kakusei use all the gems and then use a bomb and then pray that the phase is over, because otherwise I don't know how you do this. I even used the second bomb. Now this is the penultimate pattern. Let's see. I find this pattern mostly dodgeable, but the lines can get really hairy. Ooh. That was tight. That was tight. I have no resources here. I'm just, yeah, fair enough. Got clipped. This is looking a bit iffy, man. Come on, Kakusei, yeah. The good thing is that you can't really use bombs or Kakusei mode against the final phase. So, I mean, you just use everything to get here. Now, this part I trained a lot. Because really, it comes down if you can do this or not to win. are some easy dodges. What I found is that you kakusei to position yourself, and then once you're out of gems, then you just bomb, clear everything, and then reposition, and then you keep hitting. Once your invulnerability is over, bomb again, clear the whole thing, and then keep going. And if you have enough resources, you're pretty much good, hopefully. Huh? Ah. Yeah, I think we're good here. Like he has too little HP to keep going. Yeah, I'm just even gonna bomb and use the iframes, because why not? We have the meter, and there we have it. So pretty much just I brute force the brute forcing the final boss resources. I guess that is the more of the story here. And that is Espgaluda for you guys. A change that I made for Espgaluda was that previously I was playing with my 8-bit to arcade stick, this one, but then I found that I was feeling this in the other patch already. This is like a knockoff of the Sanwa JLF. So there's like a lot of throw, a lot of play here, and there is like a big dead zone as well. So I was getting clipped and dying from stuff that, in my mind I saw, man, I want to be there. So I see the gap in the bullets. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be right there. So I do the little movement, and then I go a little bit more than I wanted, and then I die, or I go a little bit less than I wanted, or I want to do a tap dodge. So the precision was not really there for me. Now, I ordered a Saimitsu LS40, which apparently, supposedly, is a really good stick for shmups. Once it arrives, I'll try and do a review on it and give my impressions. But for this game specifically, I went back to the old tried and true 8-bit do M30, the Saturn pad. And this D-pad is so good, man. Like once I came back to this one, it was just like tapping here. It was just perfect, like immediately I had an improvement just playing on the pad. Another thing that I did, and I recommend this to you guys, to reduce my strain, because what I was doing was that in the arcade stick and also here, I had one button that is the auto fire, button 4, I think, in this game. And another one is button 1, which is the fire button. And so basically you hold button 4, and then if you want a laser, then you also hold button 1, and then you laser, and then if you let go of button 1, then you only auto shot. So I was doing with Z and C here, basically these two right here. So I was holding Z, that was my button 4, auto fire. If I wanted to laser, I also held like C, kind of like Y and B in the SNES controller for Super Mario. But when the things got tense, especially when you were final stages of the run, you're feeling the pressure. I'm like pressing it really hard and tense because I don't want to die. And so what I did was that in RetroArch, you can do a toggle for the button. So I did that. So basically, the button 4 here, Z, is a toggle. So if I press it and let go, auto fire is on. So as you see, every time I'm auto firing, is that I press Z and then I'm doing, not pressing anything. I'm just controlling the character here. And then once I want a laser, then I press the blue button here, C, and then I'm lasering. And once I'm done, then I let it go. I'm back to auto fire. And once I don't want to fire in some specific scoring sections, then I press the button and then I stop auto firing. So I felt that my strain on the hands reduced a whole lot by doing that. And secondly, I put Kakusei mode here on R and uh, the bomb on L here. So it became like really comfortable for me, where I just, at times I'm just dodging. And then if I want a laser, I hold this. But just one other shot, I take my hand. So I'm just, chilling. Kakusei, just tap here and then there we go. So I became less tense while playing. So that was nice. Really helped me with like making less mistakes, I want to say. Oh, that's it. Thanks for watching. What's the next game? I don't know. I'm thinking Mushihime Sama, actually, original. The first one, not Futari. But we'll see. I wanna, as I said, I wanna graduate Shikatsui. I wanna do some Yagawa shooters as well, like Battle Riga, Armed Police Bat Rider. But in terms of sequencing, I'm not sure what I should do first, what I should do second. I know that Katsui should be up there, after, because I know the game is really hard. So once I commit to it, I want to, really, really dive deep and learn the whole thing. But until then, we can, have fun with these like less stressful games. After DOJ, DOJ taught me a lot. That's what I want to say. It was very demanding, but at the same time, the improvement was there for sure. But yeah, that's it. Bye bye. Cheers.